up? It's Joe Ready from Rady's Rides. I am here at the 2025 edition of the SEMA show, and of course we had to stop at the HRC booth because they really have brought it big. One of my favorite things sitting here is right next to me. What am I talking about? This is it. This is a 2026 Acura Integra Type S. This one, though, has the full suite of HRC goodness. But before we get into this Indy Yellow Pearl Special Integra, let's talk about what's going on here. So when you think about the Integra, this is really one of those iconic vehicles from Acura. It's been around since 1986, the birth of Acura itself, that premium Honda brand. And with the Integra, this has really turned into that true enthusiast vehicle. Now, when they brought the Integra back, the name and the overall design, a lot of people were not happy. They were expecting an Integra Type R, but this Type S has been very successful, and then on top of it, having it be an HRC version really screams Type R. But what I want to find out is, have they made the right changes from last year's SEMA show to this year with this beautiful Indy Yellow Pearl Type S? Let's go ahead, let's dive in and find out. Right off the bat, it's got a presence. Under the show lights, that Indy Yellow Pearl, look at all that metallic. It's like a sparkly Twinkie. I want to take a bite out of it. Working our way down, you do have that great LED, multi-jewel LED headlights, the chicane daytime running lamp, and one of my favorite things about this particular HRC equipped Type S is that unique front end. So you'll notice the massive enlarged corner air intakes for all the heat exchangers. You do have some gloss black, but the good news is as we come across the front, you have that Acura badge, so much history, like I said, going back to 1986, Honda Racing. Love the way they're using HRC on all of their motorsports, especially when you look at like how Alex Palou won the Indy 500, won the IndyCar Championship, and guess what, Steven? His car is sitting right there. That is the winning car, and that's what Honda does. They want to create amazing street cars, but the way that you get that done is by doing it on the racetrack. Now down below, you'll notice that massive extra large HRC intercooler. Love the way it's got the HRC name down there, and then that carbon fiber center splitter. The car sits on special coilovers and just has one of the meanest looks in the auto industry. Now, as we rise up, you're gonna have that carbon fiber hood. Look at the way they left the heat extractors exposed with the carbon fiber. Steven's gonna swing around and show that functionality. And then one of the changes that's new for this year, may not be a major change on the outside, but there's a lot of things underneath the sheet metal. What you're gonna find are these HRC specific wheels, forged aluminum. Love that almost like dark bronze titanium tinge to them. 19-inch wheel in diameter. Tires are going to be that 265 on the width, 30 series sidewall. Of course, you have your Twinkie yellow 6-piston Brembo calipers, 2-piece massive rotors that are fully slotted. And then, like I was saying, under the sheet metal, that's where you're going to see a lot of changes. So this car has been going to different racetracks across the country, and they've been making suspension and braking and handling changes. So one thing you'll notice is how they are able to adjust camber, caster, toe in, toe out, so you have a full functional adjustments to the front end, because remember, this is still front wheel drive, that specially tuned mechanical limited slip diff, and just a ride height presence. I mean, look at that, it's the perfect amount of gap. Coming down the side, I do like the HRC badge, but what I like even more is that Indy Yellow Pearl finish. Wonderful, nice sparkle to it. I'm gonna swing around and kind of swap around with Steven so he could show off that functional portion to the aero with our flared fenders. And then coming towards the rear, I know a lot of people want an all-wheel drive Type S. You don't want it. You think you do, you don't. It's just gonna add extra weight. This thing front-wheel drive with the lighter flywheel, the engine spins up faster. You got that glorious 6-speed manual transmission. and all the other goodies. And like I said, with the bigger intercooler, intake, downpipe, all those goodies, you're just gonna get some extra wonderful sound. Remember, this vehicle does not have a rear seat. We showed you last year. If you haven't seen that video, I'll leave it at the end of this one because there's some other goodies that I wanna show you here. But coming around back, one of my favorite parts, that adjustable rear wing, like the way they put the Indy Yellow Pearl on the M plates, full carbon fiber. And then of course, as we get down to ground level, we have that Borla Attack exhaust from the turbo back, triple outlet, and then a really aggressive lower bumper area and diffuser. But let me know what you think about the look of this mighty Integra, especially with those new wheels. We're gonna continue walking, Stephen. So as we come on over, you'll notice, like I said, that connection. So yes, this is not an Acura Integra. I understand that. This is a Honda Civic Type R. This is the FL5. They sit on the same platform, right? I mean, let's just be honest. This is that Michelin Pilot Challenge race car. And what's amazing about this one, it came from Road Atlanta, and it still has all the goo, all the dead bugs from the racetrack. But what HRC brings to the track, they do that on purpose to increase the performance of the street car. Now, what you'll find in this class is you have to run stock headlights. I like the way that they run the lighter headlight housing and everything. You'll notice all of the openings for the brake cooling, that massive dry weave carbon fiber splitter. In the Michelin Pilot Challenge series, this runs in the TCR class. You can't do a lot of mods. Yes, aesthetically, you're seeing things that are needed for cooling and everything, but it still has the basic overall shape of the Type R, and there's not a lot of extra things you could do to the engine. Love that honeycomb wire mesh finish, and I like the way they did red around the badge here, because remember, usually the race cars have the red Honda badge. You got the Civic name with that super massive heat exchanger, and then a carbon fiber splitter that is just ginormous. Because remember, the key is to stop the air from going underneath the vehicle, because that creates lift. Now, as we rise up, you do have your functional heat extractor up top, that honeycomb finish, because they have the intercooler mounted nice and high. And even on the sides here, just has that aggressive look, but all the functionality. Look at how extra wide the fender flares are. I would say that's probably twice as wide as what your FL5 Type R is. On the sides, you still have the lugs. You don't have a central lug. They do that to keep prices down. And then the brakes have been beefed up because that's ultra important. Still front wheel drive. It's an 18-inch wheel, forged aluminum wheel. Tires, of course, are those racing slicks. And then as we continue, Steven's gonna swing around and show you the backside of that fender flare opening, and you could actually see the slick. Really, really killer to be able to bring you these types of things. Coming towards the rear of the vehicle, just like on the HRC equipped Integra, you did have some adjustability to the wing. This also has adjustability. Now it is that reverse swan neck, but you have that adjustability, and then coming around the back, dropping it down to ground level, instead of having a triple outlet, they go simple. Get the gases out the back, single outlet, all carbon fiber. And these come from HRC. You could buy one of these and you could race in the series. The last thing I want to show you is over here. This is special to me. I've always been a fan of the Japanese Super GT series. This is the first time ever in the United States on our soil that a Super GT car has been brought over. So with this vehicle, this is a Civic Type R, but it runs in the Super GT class. Now the interesting thing is for next year, it's gonna be replaced by the Prelude. So that's something interesting, but just look at how the whole body is carbon fiber. They don't use actual headlights. It's like NASCAR. It's just a sticker. Ginormous openings. I mean, I feel like I could crawl in here and sleep overnight inside the convention center. And then of course, all of the extra dive planes canards, the fender flares. I mean, it's absolutely just sinister. Now, as we come around the bend, I want to point out that you'll see venting on top of the fender. This is here to relieve air pressure. Steven's going to swing around real quick and show you. You could actually see the slick. See my fingers underneath? That's going to relieve air pressure so you don't have lift. But as we drop down on these cars, they're like prototype cars. You have a center locking hub, that ultra light forged wheel. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. The gloss black, the whole hollow spoke design really, really just has that great look to it. And just how low this car is. The roof line is right over my shoulder. Coming down the side, you'll notice that super low side sill extension. Steven's gonna swing around and show you that exhaust coming out the side of the car. All carbon fiber everywhere. And like I said, here's my waistline and here's the top of the hood. Coming towards the rear, same thing, the flared fenders, that swan neck, full carbon fiber rear wing, fully adjustable. And then out back, look at that diffuser. Normally I would say it's right off a race car. It looks like it's right off a race car. It is right off of a race car, this Super GT. But these are things that I like to bring to you here at SEMA. We started off with the Integra Type S, the HRC equipped version, and I was able to show you some of the other touches that they have here at the SEMA show. But let me know what you think. Are you gonna want that Integra that basically looks like a Type R Integra? Let me know in that comment section. Of course, we need to finish off with the DPI car, the Daytona Prototype GTP car. It's amazing how they've transitioned through the series with this, remember that hybrid technology, and then we come back over to where we started. It comes full circle back at the Integra. But let me know what you think about this car, especially with those wheels. Like I said, under the sheet metal, they've been going to many different racetracks, making tons of adjustments. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Red family. Gotta give up to Stephen Flood. He didn't even know what the hell we were gonna film when we turned on the camera. He thought we were just filming this. I took him on this journey that he's so grateful that he's on. So thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.